Today, I have another epic interview for you guys with Sam Joe in our Discord community. You've seen him posting these crazy payouts, 5 grand here, 8 grand here, 9 grand there. Now, is that fake news? I don't know. Let's go check it out. What's going on, Sam Joe? Do you mind loading for them, hitting that F5 to show that your payouts in Take Profit are legit or not?
Yes, sir. I'm back.
Yeah, signing out and signing back in makes sense. There you go.
There we go.
Look at that. Wallet, refresh. Man, that's crazy. So if I'm looking at this right, Sam Joe, I think in August, you talk multiple payouts.
Yeah.
And this is like what, 20, 30K, something like that?
Yeah, I got about 25, 27,000.
25K. And then in July, you locked in 59K, something like that?
59,000, yeah.
Obviously, guys, income disclaimer, not saying that you can for sure do this. It's just what Sam Joe and other people have had some results in our community, right? So today, this interview is going to be amazing. It's going to be raw and just talking to him and asking him his journey. He's the rising star. And I hope it inspires you guys on what is possible with trading. And so, Sam Joe, good to have you on the interview, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, I'm glad to be on. Get to speak with a mentor.
So it's funny today because today was kind of choppy. And while I was waiting to do the interview, I took a couple more trades and I locked in like a couple more $1,000 trades waiting
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go, man. At least it was worth the waiting. And so let's start with how long have you been trading and how long have you been trading futures broad firms?
So I've been trading for like 3 or 4 years. I started as trading shares. So long story short, I had 25,000 saved up, put it into a margin at 4 times leverage. I trade shares. I trade TQQs and SQQs and it was doing good somewhat. And then I hopped into Discord. It's like, you should do options. You should do options, man. And I was like, all right, let me try it out. And at first, I was aiming for $200, $300. And, you get one of those lucky winning streaks where you just like, make crazy amount of money in 1 month. I think in 1 month I made like 40, 50K. And then I lost it all the next month because I got greedy. I got greedy. But for futures, it's only like a month and a half. I like it, but I always tell people like on Discord, like, how long have you been doing it? And I tell them a month and a half, but I have experience because I used to trade shares, with stocks and stuff like the Apple, Nvidia, and Tesla. So I'm familiar with the way it is. So it was easy for me to catch on real quick. But as for someone that just started, I wouldn't say it's the same level because you have to develop your own edge and all that stuff, like you can't just hop on and be like, oh, you know what? I can start just buy here, buy there. I mean, futures is a different ballgame. It's highly leveraged compared to trading shares and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, 1 month and a half, watching your videos every day, it's helped me a lot, especially whenever you talk about rotating your accounts,
Yeah.
When I first started, I didn't rotate. So first week, I'm like, man, I'm blowing it. I would make money, but then I'll blow it. And I was like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? So frustrated. And I watched your video. I digested like my mind, my time into it. And I'm like, how does he do it? What is he doing right? That's getting to point A to point B. So like locking the profits, That's what I've been doing. Once it gets above 4,500, boom, I'm out. I'm taking it.
There you go. Because that's so key, what you said there. A lot of people have a green account. And then by the end of the day, let's say they're green in the morning. They trade the same account. At the end of the day, it's red. They could have taken that payout, especially with Take Profit, like the screen you show here. They allow you daily profits. So why not just trade another account? Some people don't do that, and it's kind of sad. Options is great because when it works well, it's great. But like you said, you make 40K and then you blow up the 40K and it's very real. So, I mean, I've done that, unfortunately. The good thing about futures prop is the opportunity right now is to give us a lot of leverage. But at the same time, if we manage our risk properly, like you said, we rotate the accounts, then you can lock in those payouts one after another, even though the other ones blow up. So, I mean, tell me, Sam, like not a lot of people can do what you've done, like locked in 59K in July. Like what clicked for you? Maybe like several months ago, you weren't doing that. What do you think was something that clicked for you that you locked in 59K in July? Maybe top 2 tips. What would that be?
I would say, first of all, you have to understand that trading is not easy because I see a lot of people, like there's people that message me on Discord to tell me like, hey, what do you think about trading? What do you think about like futures? What do you think about FSP and stuff? And I tell them like, yeah, he's good. He's a good mentor. He's a good trader and stuff. Like I highly recommend you use him as guidance. And they'll tell me, no, I'm using this as like just a side job and stuff to make money and stuff. And I tell them like, no, you got to treat it like a business. You can't just treat this as like a side job. This is not easy. 90% of people don't pass, can't even get payouts or they can't even get like successful in this business. So I tell them, first of all, go into this business, you have to understand it's not easy. And second is not rushing the payout, because everyone's like rushing to get payouts and stuff. And I tell them, what's just going to end up happening is maybe you're going to have a one good month and the next month it's going to come back down. Then it's going to go back up again and then come back down. And then someone that invested the time and took it slowly, I mean, they're going to take a little bit longer, but they're going to see a better success rate compared to someone that's just like full porting and getting lucky and stuff like that. But yeah, I took my time. I spent probably a good 5 days just learning what futures is, some strategies and stuff. And you were like the first page that showed up, and it helped me a lot understand futures, how to get payouts, understand what's intraday drawdowns and stuff like that. Stuff that I didn't know probably a month prior,
Intraday drawdown, trailing drawdown is something that I had no idea what it meant. And the 30% consistency rule is one of those things where you have to learn it. It's like some people sometimes go on the live chat or Discord. Hey guys, I made this amount on day 1. Day 2, I made this amount. And they're like, now I'm here. What's my consistency? It's like, listen, guys, like no one's going to reach your trading day log and tell you what that number is. You have to learn, like Sam Joe here took him 5 days to learn it. And I like how you said about the business mindsets. Like, even though I think people should still have an income, right? If without an income, it's hard to weather the losses. But if you treat it as like some kind of a gamble side thing or whatever, I'm just going to buy here and hope it works, then it's going to be very hard for you to succeed. Because if you guys don't know, I think Sam Joe, you have a business too, right?
Yeah, I do. So I do UGC work. So I basically market for companies and stuff like that. I work with companies like Nike, Adidas, Sony. It's a lot of companies.
This is the common trait I've seen with quite a bit of traders, is that they are somewhat like entrepreneurial. Either they have some kind of job, some kind of a side gig, or maybe they like a full-blown business. Like for me too, like I have businesses even before I started trading. And so it's the whole idea of like treating this as a business. I deduct the expenses, the evals and the blown up accounts are just like a business expense. So I wouldn't mind if they're like blown up as long as I'm net green, right? It's always about net green in business. I think that's an important point that a lot of people haven't caught on to. So in terms of the practical trading ins and outs, do you have like a go-to setup that you go to? Like, what do you look for in the chart? Do you mind pulling up your chart and sharing what you look at normally?
No problem. So my setup is plain and simple. I have a pre-market highs and a pre-market lows. I'll mark that off in the beginning, because if it's trading in between that level, I'm going to stay out of it. I'm not going to even go into that play, because I want more of an intraday trend to give me an idea of where we're going. And then one of my non-negotiating rules is the 50-minute. I usually have a 50-minute highs and a 50-minute low. And whichever direction it goes to, let's say if it breaks above the yellow line, which is my 50-minute high and my pre-market highs, I would wait for either a retest. I'll wait for more confluence. For example, I'll look at the max 7, because I guess like a lot of people don't know that what moves NQ or what moves ES and stuff is I'll look at what makes up majority of it. And if all of them are going the same direction, if they're going down, I'm going to look for an entry on the downside. If it's going up, I'll look for an entry on the upside. Obviously, I need it to use a direction first, because it is like, for example, right here, where it's broken below the pre-market low and the 15-minute low, I'll look for a downside entry. But I won't trade no more than the first 3 hours. And for example, stop losses and stuff like that, you hear this from a lot of people, mental stop. So when you take mental stop, I tell people you have to be true to your word. Some people say like, sometimes I'll blow my account and stuff like that. And you have to realize when you decide to fund your own live account, futures has unlimited risk. So if you take, for example, 5, 6 position size of NQ, just know that your mental stop, you can lose a ton of money in that. You don't have the drawdown that prop firms allow you to have, like they'll stop you out like 4,500, like mine's 4,500, and the most I'll pay is 1,500. With your own account, you could lose like 4 or 5K instantly. And, that's what I use the prop firm for, to eventually build my way to my own personal live account. And my first stop would be my 9 EMA, and my next stop would be my 21 EMA. So 21 EMA is my max where I would mark it out. I have to get out, no exceptions. And I'll look for a re-entry if the trend still follows that direction. Just like today,
So you were long above the 9 EMA and then would stop under the 9 EMA?
Yeah, so I would size down. If it breaks the 9 EMA, I'll size down a little bit. And once it breaks below the 21, that's when I size out entirely, because I want to keep the losses small. I don't want to keep it too big, because you have to know you have the drawdown to take into consideration. Like I said, I'd rather take a $300, $400 loss than take like a $2,000, $3,000 loss, or just blow the account entirely,
For sure.
You always can re-enter. So if it doesn't work out, take a deep breath, sit back, wait for the next setup.
Right. Is that the VWAP as well you got there?
Oh, yeah. So I have the sell on to VWAP and have a 50. So I noticed I don't use it as much. I just use it as a guidance, like here and there. But I notice I use the 9 and the 21 more often, because once I trade the NQ, it moves quick. you get 10, 15,
Yeah.
20 points pretty quick. So I usually use that when I'm trading options. I haven't quit option entirely. I swing trade it now. So
Yeah.
works out in different ways, you know.
Options and futures at the same time. That's hard to do, man.
It is hard. It is. That's why I choose like a month out or 2 months
Yeah.
out. I don't trade zero DTEs anymore. I stopped doing that.
Yeah. Anyone who has traded options for a while, like once they say that, you know they traded for a long time. If they're always just like, oh, 0 DTE, bro, all the time, you're like, okay, well, they just haven't taken like a 40K loss. So
Yeah.
it's until you do that, like I took a bigger loss than 40K. I told you guys before, so it was a hard lesson. So you got to learn those.
Yeah.
So, okay, so 9 EMA, 20 on EMA, and you use the 50-minute ORB. You know, I talked to Michael, which was one of our mods a couple of days ago. He says this exact same thing. He trades the 50-minute ORB as well. If it's above, look for dips, retest, go higher. And if it goes lower, looks for the rejection. So is that your go-to then? Like you say you only trade the first 3 hours. So do you not take any trades in the first 15 minutes then? You have to wait for that 15-minute ORB?
Yeah, because I noticed the market is very crazy. Like I think it was like Thursday, Friday was just chopping one big 5-minute candle up and one big 5-minute candle down. So I noticed that first 15 minutes for me, I have a hard time gauging on what direction it's going to. So I don't mind missing it out. Sometimes I've noticed my biggest days come out later on in the day where the market slows down a little bit more. So it's all about adapting, you know, like this type of business is all about adapting. Just because, for example, you look right here, it goes above the 15-minute high. It retests the pre-market high. Some of us may think like, oh, this is a retest right here. So it did retest, but if you look at it, this is like some people, they hold for longer and stuff like that. They'll hold to a max payout or they're looking for the big wins. But for me, I just don't see much right here because I think during this time, Trump started talking. And during this time, I traded with one of my buddies, Arshan. He told me, hey, Samjo, Trump is talking. I think we should slow down the market and stuff like that. So it's all about adapting, factoring what could cause my trade, an A+ setup, to go entirely the wrong way, you know? So I missed the on display and I would have taken the bounce right here, but I just, you know, the upside and stuff, we saw in the video, Microsoft, Apple, all doing like different directions. So to me, the market was still confused on what direction it wants to go. You can see clearly it went and retested the pre-market highs, got above a little bit, but then came right back down and then went back up, came back down, shot back up. Market's still, you know, trying to figure out what is it trying to do, you know? So I just want to take probably 2-3 good plays and call it a day because that's the same thing I did with options. That's the most I've got in one play. You'll get 1-2-3 good setups. And from there, you know, just call it a day. Because if you overtrade, you're going to see those profits disappear and then you're going to tilt and then you're going to, you know, try to find your way to make those profits.
There you go. So what does your size look like? Because in order to make like 8K withdrawal in a day, 8K withdrawal in a day, are you doing bigger sizes? Like, are you trading 150Ks with take profit? How many contracts are you taking? And like, how many points you scalp?
Yeah. So I trade the MNQ. Surprising. I trade the MNQ. And the reason why I like the MNQ, because psychologically, I feel like I don't know. I just feel like it's more comfortable. My mind's more at ease compared to like the NQ and stuff like that. I tried the NQs. I usually trade the NQs when I'm copy trading. So when I'm a copy trading, it's a lot easier trading the NQs compared to the MNQ because obviously you have to double the size or triple depending on how many accounts you're copying. So usually that's where psychology comes in. You know, people complain that, oh my God, this trade is not going my way and stuff like that. And that's all about sizing, you know? And for me, I always start with small size. I start at 5. And when the trade is going a little bit better, I'll add 5 more. But I'll never add on a trade when it's not going my way. But when it's going my way and I know that this is respecting my levels, that's when I know when to step on the gas. So that's when I start going a little bit heavier. I go 10, 15, 20. I'll double the size every time. But I always have a max position size. So usually it's around 50. Sometimes it can work its way to like 100. So 10 NQs. But usually it's going my way. And then I always take the 10, 15 points. Like you always say, lock in those 10, 15 points. Don't let it get out. Don't let it disappear, you know? So I'm pretty confident with the momentum trading. Like I said, I used to trade shares. So averaging in and stuff like that, it comes pretty easy to me.
So then if you add into a trade that's winning, your average is obviously going to keep going higher on a long trade, right? Yeah. So for example, can you walk us through a couple of trades today, like how you played it? The thing is, like, I think that's one of the things I would love to learn to do better as well is adding into a winning trade. Like, I kind of hesitate to add into a trade unless it's kind of like it dips back down. It's still above my entry. I'll add into it. Sometimes I do it, but I hate adding on strength, right? I mean, how do you do it? Like, take us through like maybe a couple of trades on how many micros and where did you add and where did you take profits? Like, if you can, so we can get a better understanding of, you know, how you trade.
Oh, yeah. So this is a perfect example. Let's look right here. So on the eval, because another rule I have is if I blow a pro account or any funded account, I will go to my eval. Because like I said, your mind, you don't want to go on tilt. With the eval, I feel like even if I mess up, it's $100 to reset. To some people, it's a lot. but I've got consistent payouts. So to me, it doesn't affect me as bad.
Right.
So for example, this right here, I'll go in with 5 on a retest. And then once it pulls back, I see that I'm in the money and I see it. Okay, it's rejecting a 21 EMA. It's below this. And this is all about adapting. I know I said that when it's above my 15-minute highs and pre-market highs, I won't short it. But when I looked at the max 7, we're all dropping down. I see the market pushing down. And so I would go with the momentum. So I go with what the market is doing at the moment. So as it's going down, I'll start adding heavier positions. So when I see a lower high on 2-minute, because every time frame tells a different story. So on 2-minute, whereas at the moment it's telling me, hey, look, Sam Joe, we're forming lower highs, lower lows. On the 5 minutes, maybe it's forming the lower high right here and it's from the lower low. So I would add into my position right about here. I'll start going heavy, step on the gas, and I'll start trailing down. I won't start adding like when it's already making the move. I would double the size every time. So 5 right here. Sometimes I start with 10, which is equivalent to 1 NQ. And right here, I'll probably add 10 more. So I have 20. And the moment it starts going, I start spamming a little bit. I start spamming the sell button and I'll do 10, 10, 10, 10. My max position size, 50. And I usually have 2 charts set up. So I have a 5-minute on the right side and a 1-minute on the left side. And my max position size in the corner would say the 50. But I'm using a mental stop. So if it goes wrong, I can easily go to my right, click the button out or exit all positions and get the whole position out. But usually I will trail it, split in half. So I'll do 25 contracts to sell. First, I'll sell it like, for example, 25 here, 25 here. As long as it's still continue rejecting my EMAs and heading towards the price level that I think it's going to. So for example, pre-market lows or the 15-minute lows. So I don't have a chart right here, but I usually have levels like boxes, stuff, zones, supply and demand,
So basically you're more of a momentum trader because I think I see what you're doing. Normally I would do the same. Like if I see like a rejection candle, I mark it in short and I put the stop right above the previous rejection candle and I just keep the stop really tight. And if it drops, I just start covering. And if there's like a pop, I try to reshort it. And then if it starts breaking my entry, then I just get out. So it's basically taking a really small stop and then try to ride the momentum down or up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. Yeah. That's why I love watching you, man. I love watching you because like I look at the plays and like I always tell everyone to just tell me like I'm following FSP's play and stuff. And I tell them, you know what? Your goal is to have your own edge and stuff. I was like, FSP, he's an amazing trader, but he can be wrong too. Like I'm sometimes wrong too. And at the end of the day, you can't blame him for your loss if you took that wrong play. Because every time more than likely we hear you say it, like you guys be careful. This is a risky play and stuff like that, So sometimes I'll gauge. I was like, okay, FSP's taking longs. I'm short bias. Why is he taking long bias? So I'll kind of like think about it before I take it because I'm like,
And many times it works out and you bank on the short because I get dumped on. And that's the good thing about trading, right? It's like you guys see me get squeezed and get dumped on the live. And I tell you guys, it's just for entertainment only. But the thing is to be net green is knowing when to rotate your accounts, when to walk away and when to take a loss. And so like today, before we did the interview, I wrapped up the stream. I'm like, okay, net green today, but nothing going on much. And I'm not going to let myself go out of net green. And then at the end of the day, I took a couple more trades green, like one for 1100, the other 1300. So now pretty good. So you kind of have to wait and to take your trades. And I'm so happy that you're getting your results because you're having your own bias. Sometimes, I think it's Jerry, some of the mods are like, oh, you're long, I'm short. It's great. We're taking different sides. And if I see Sam Joe taking a short and I'm long, I'm like, I hear these other guys, I'm thinking, wait, do I still want to stay on that bias that I'm on? And if I'm convinced, I want to stay, then I'll stay. Sometimes I flip because of what you guys say. So that's the beauty of the trading community. It's not like we're copying one another. It's like, okay, well, this dude's doing that and this guy's doing that. Am I still on the right side? If you think you are, then hold it. If you're not, then, kind of reevaluate, right? So always have your own plan, right?
Yeah. If you guys find yourself stressed out with the trade and stuff like that, it's most likely because you're oversized. You're putting in a position that you're not comfortable with. And that's how you flow accounts. That's how you end up holding positions longer because you're hoping it's going your way. You hope like, oh, it's going to come back. It ends up not coming back, especially with NQ, M and Q, they can blow an account pretty quick. I experienced it like a few times already.
For sure. So for those big payouts like 8K, 5K, 9K, are you taking those on multiple trades in one day or are they multiple accounts? Like run us through the numbers. Like how do you take those kind of payouts?
It's crazy. It's one account that I'm making it on. And it's usually 1 to 3 plays. I don't go no more than, sometimes I'll go like 4 and 5, but that's only if it's going only about 10 points and just risking very light. That's why, sometimes I have to shut off the computer because I notice myself over trading. I was like, scalping for $100, $200, $300, not scalping
Yeah.
for like the big wins and stuff. And I noticed that on certain days when I do that, it does really mess with me. I lose all my gains and then I'm just upset and then it rolls over to the next day. So that's why I try to keep myself at a minimum 3 to 4 trades a day. Because when I was trading options, the most I'd get in a day was 2 or 3 good solid plays. And with futures, it can get dangerous because it's 10 points with NQ. It's all day. You can get 10 points.
Yeah.
So usually with one account. I tried copy trading. I think you warned us about it. I remember one of the videos you warned us about and I tried it out. And it gets expensive, guys. I'm telling you, like imagine 5 accounts, 550K accounts. Oh, that is a lot you're going to have to pay. So I was like, nope, not going to do that anymore. Blew all 5 of them in one day.
That's right. We all learn through these mistakes, you know. It's like, yo, it's a good idea, bro. I mean, let's look at that guru who locked in 2 mil, copy train 20 accounts. Let's do it. And then when you go execute it, it's like everything blowing up, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you see it. Like, I mean, I've known people that made like 60, 70K weeks, and weeks later, they'll post the same thing. You're like, okay, they've been gone for a couple of weeks. And it's usually because, like you said,
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice. You'll make a lot, but super risky, super risky. And
Yeah.
mental perspective, you'll lose and you'll go on like this losing streak. So like your mental state is like, oh, I took a big loss. I got to make it back. Like, what am I going to do? And you're going to keep going up tilt. Like, you know what I mean?
There you go. Yeah. I mean, that's amazing because like, I'm glad you're not copy trading and you still gain this result, but I'm still trying to wrap my mind around though with one account. That's mind blowing, man. One account, logging in 8K. Yeah. So that's when you say you spam the button to your max size of 50 to 100 micros. Are you doing like 100 micros on that play then to get that 8K? Because I assume with 2 contracts, there's no way to make 8K on like 10 or 15 points.
The day I made 8K, I did a copy trade. I did 2 accounts, but the other days when I'm making like 4 to 6 to 7,000, I am going in with just 1 account. And I'll usually like, for example, up here, there's a day similar to this where I saw the market was at oversold value. I waited for a lower high. It was something similar to this. And I'll go in 5. I test like 5 around here. I'll go in 5 more. The moment's going my way, I had like 120, 130 MNQs. And yeah, it's a lot, but I make sure to size down as soon as I'm in profits. I start sizing down. But, you know, some days it's all about, you know, your risk reward. I already had 3K in profits in the thing in my take profits. So I was risking maybe a good, like probably like 1,000 of it. And, you know, this whole move right here can make you a good amount of money. Just this move right here. So yeah, 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6, but I don't go too aggressive all days. Like I said, some days you guys see me with good payouts and yeah, it's due to overtrading sometimes. Sometimes I'll go like maybe a little bit more like, let me trade with FSP. I'm bored today. And stuff like that. And, you know, it's just bad habits. But I mean, I'll take an A+ setup. I won't take like, I won't short just because it's going up. I know some people are like, oh, it's going to keep going. It's going to keep going down.
Yeah, like
I'll long it.
Just add into it and get blown up.
Yeah, my bias is usually above this level. If it's above pre-market highs and 15-minute highs, I'll stay bias long. It's that short, I'll stay low. But if I have to adapt and I see the market pulling back, something like this, I'll take a short, but I won't go too heavy size. Like today, you know, with the evals, I passed them all, but, you know, I didn't want to trade any pros account because obviously I blew a pro plus account from a dumb mistake. I didn't know about it and I withdrew everything, the 4,000 from that account. So I had essentially zero drawdown. So immediately I went in, I was out and I was like, what happened? Yeah,
well, at least you took the 4K though. Yeah, at least you took the 4K, right? So
yeah.
You banked on that. So I think I have a good idea of your strategy, which is like you need some type of more aggressive personality to do that. Number one, like you have to be able to read the charts, the levels, come up with a bias. If you think it's about to reject, you hit that short really hard with the discipline to stop out if it goes against you. And then if it goes your way, you just basically trail out. That's nice, man. I mean, sometimes when I'm really aggressive, I do that too. Like I hit it really hard, but I can't do it on live stream. Like if I'm not trading it on stream, I may hit it really hard too, but I like it. That's how you get the 6 or 8K, those payouts. Yeah, I mean, it's nice. But knowing what you know now, right, Sam Joe, let's say you now go back a year ago where you never trade futures before, but you have that knowledge. How would you start? You know, because someone watching this interview, they may be like brand new right now. They're like you before, trying to learn what is a trailing drawdown, like us before, right? They're brand new. With your knowledge now, what would you tell your old self, what you should do and what you shouldn't do to aim for those payouts that you've been getting?
Okay, so first of all, I'll tell myself, I know it sounds crazy, but don't focus on trying to get like payouts. Don't focus on the money aspect of the trade. Focus on developing your edge first because the money will come later. when you develop your edge and everything like that, and you have a solid strategy, the money will come. But just imagine you're just focusing on payout, focusing on P&L, focusing on making that money. What's just going to end up happening is you're going to make it that first week, 2 weeks, you're going to make the payout, and then you're going to lose it all back again. You're just going to keep going an endless cycle. So I always tell people, take it slow, take it easy, develop an edge, understand the market. There's a lot of videos online for free. That's how I learned. I didn't pay for any mentors or anything when I first started. I started watching free videos and I invested so much time into the market that all my day consisted of, okay, I need to make time to learn what a candlestick is, what is an EMA, what are support and resistance, what's supply and demand, and stuff like that. I had to learn the basics and stuff because after losing that large amount of money, in total it was 40K in 1 month. And that whole year in total was 150K. I was down 150K and I was focused on trying to make the money back when I shouldn't.
Yeah.
The money's gone. The money doesn't exist anymore in my account. It's gone. That's the one thing you have to accept. And you just have to focus on just being a profitable trader, having a solid setup. So after I let go of all that, that's when I noticed everything changed. I just started trading options. I became more successful, made my gains back in like 3-4 months. And then options this year was a lot more harder. So I was just like, yeah, it's time to switch up. So I went to test out futures. And that's when I saw, first time I showed up was FSP futures. So I looked at it and I was like, digesting myself into it. I'm like, I like this guy, you know, because I watch Patrick Whelan and he just gets me so worked up sometimes. and I just can't. Sometimes I'm like, I'm so frustrated. I'm just taking some random trades because he's taking and stuff like that. But yeah, I highly recommend FSP. One of the best futures mentor you can have out there right now. It's free. A lot of people don't do that. In the futures industry, if you look at it, it's always like a subscription where it allows you to watch them trade and their call outs and stuff like that. Yeah. Don't ever depend on that because I've had friends that depend on stuff like that and their mentors all of a sudden like, hey guys, I'm not doing this anymore. Quit his job. And I'm like, oh, dude.
Yeah. I can tell you every Discord membership that I pay for so many, hundreds. Like every time I try to follow someone's signals, I end up losing. Like no joke.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. Literally doesn't work. So that's why, like, if you're fading me, great. That's why when I'm in a trade, sometimes I take it off screen because I don't want to mess with you guys' head, right? I'm like, okay, because I'm currently long, but I'm getting a little red right now, getting dumped on. I don't want to affect your short. So
yeah,
it's always good to have your own bias. And that's the beauty of our community. You know, we trade together, we bank together, we pray together. We always say that. And it's like, if you have your bias, you do your bias, you know? You don't have to copy it. And I think that's just amazing to see how you turn things around because some people, like, can't really come back from the loss. Like, hearing you taking those losses and then coming back, I think that's a very big mentality shift because we often think, oh, I'm red, I got to make it back now. But the fact that you took your time, took a few months, you know, working your edge, and now you made it back, I think that's something that a lot of people need to just really, like me too. I have to, you know, many times I don't have to tilt and blow those accounts, just wait for the opportune time, man. So that's really key, man. So, I mean, we went on for quite some time now, but let's just ask one last question. If there's one golden advice that you want to give to someone watching this interview, what would that golden advice be for you?
I'd say, guys, take your time. You know, the market's always going to be here. Don't rush into trying to make the big bucks. I know people posted on the payouts making crazy amount of money and stuff, but you have to understand, I've been in the game for 3-4 years. FSP's been on the game for over 10 years, you know, and other people have been longer, you know, so we have a history behind our payouts and stuff, like how we're so consistent and stuff. And my advice is invest some time into learning the market and stuff. Treat it like a business, you know. Some days you're going to lose some days you're going to do awesome. But most important is how you bounce back after a loss. Are you going to go tilt? Or are you going to try to focus on, like, I'm going to make that money back and stuff like that? But like what I tell all my friends is like, you know, that money's gone. Don't worry about it. Yeah, as long as you focus on trying to stay alive in this market, that's the main thing. Even if you break even, is an accomplishment. But if you somehow become profitable, man, good for you, you know? Good for you. That's an accomplishment for sure.
Yeah, man. Trading, it's like life. Life goes by really fast. I'm closing in on 10 years, not quite there yet. I started in the tail end of 2016. And, you know, at the blink of an eye, you know, it's like now it's almost a decade. And life goes by fast. And we learn these lessons. Yeah. Appreciate you sharing them. And you seem like a young guy. You got some wise words today, you know? You're still in your 30s, right?
I'm 30, but I hung out with a lot of old guys. I don't know what a lot of. So
and the beard helps you. The beard helps you.
I'm getting gray hair from the market, FSP. I need to go Turkey and fix my hair. It's going to make me go bald.
That's amazing, man. You don't have, I think before we chat here, you say you don't have a YouTube channel. If someone wants to touch base with you, what's the best way to do that?
Okay, so I'm on FSP's Discord. You guys want to reach out to me, and I do have an Instagram page, but I'm never on it. But if you guys want to contact me, just contact me through the Discord. I'm always there chatting with Durian, chatting with a bunch of other people. You know, a lot of people there. So if you guys ever need question stuff, let me know. I can't answer your personal messages because it's spam. Like, it's too much. There's too much messages on there. But sorry, I can't. You know, I'm not as energized today, guys. I'm exhausted. Running on zero sleep, good, you know.
You're throwing those gems. I know. Yeah, I mean, you're running on zero sleep, but you're throwing these gems out, you know, dropping those secret sauce and everything. And Durian's another great trader too. I'm glad you guys are talking. Guys, you have the Discord here. It's like literally free for you guys to use. I pay for so much money to join Discords, to go on live streams. All this stuff is free for you. Go in there. If you cannot DM someone, read their public post and understand why are they saying they're going long or short here. Understand why they post what they posted, right? And if you want to like hit them up, if you hit Sam Joe up, I told you guys, you know, don't spam people with 10 questions. Like, make some short, you know, be like a normal person. Maybe it'll be easier for you guys, right? So, but anyway, thank you so much today for coming on, Sam Joe. We're going to release this video pretty soon and just really inspired to see your results, to do 59K on Take Profit. By the way, I have never taken 59K on Take Profit in 1 month just yet. So I am happy. As I tell you guys all the time, I'm just an average Joe trader. I love learning from you guys. Hopefully we can learn from more guys. Durian, we're going to interview him soon too. So let's just keep trading together, banking together, and praying together, and just make some money. How about that?
Yeah, let's go, guys. And it's August good.
All right. Take care, Sam. Talk soon.